Hey everybody, Sean and Allison here from Spoken Garden. Hey, do you guys know what begonias are? Do you like begonias?
No, look at these, you guys.
Isn't that beautiful?
This is a beautiful begonia that we picked up recently from Proven Winners. We love begonias. There's so many cool features about this plant. And we're gonna go over some of this with you. We have 3 begonias to show you.
Yeah. And one's a tuberous begonia, and 2 of them aren't. So we're gonna be planting these begonias in pots today, and maybe we should go over and look at the plants.
Yeah, you know, we always love showing you new plants and hopefully, you know, maybe giving you some ideas or just because they are so pretty and we can't wait to show these to you. Okay, you guys, here are the 3 begonias that we have chosen. You can see they're all different colors, but they kind of variations of the same color, if that makes sense.
Very beautiful.
Oh, I love this one. Look at that, Sean.
Yep, some of them are almost double blooms. Some of them look more just like a single bloom. The flowers have some differences, not only in color, but in almost like structure. Like the one Allison's looking at right now, it's almost like a single kind of flower, but the one that you looked at the beginning there, the one to the left, on the far left, it has almost like, I don't know what to say. This almost looks like, oh, there you go.
Love that flower.
I mean,
it's got a little,
something
tear right there.
Maybe something got it in transport there, but I mean, it just looks full and kind of frumpy, and I don't know. It's just kind of, it's interesting. It's hard to come up with a descriptive term for that.
It really is. This is our first stop. If you maybe saw this video a couple weeks ago, or maybe a month ago, Sean?
About a month ago, probably.
About a month ago. We planted this awesome tropical shade-loving container, and we are just in love with the plants in here. So first of all, we have oak leaf acanthus. Look at this, you guys. This is so cool. And if you happen to see that video, it is spread and grown up. We've actually cut back a couple leaf stems, or the stems on here, because they got almost too big. So we knew that was going to be an issue later, maybe next year. We might need to transplant this plant into a different part of our yard, but we're loving it right here. Total shade, a little bit of partial shade to full shade in this location. We planted it in this huge self-watering container. This is a rim true drop planter from Crescent Gardens. So yeah, that's kind of the intro. We also have these awesome, there's 3 hart's tongue ferns in here. And we are loving the way those are unfurling and spreading and growing.
Yeah, they've really grown.
Haven't they?
Yeah,
I know.
They've doubled almost in size.
They are loving this container. We have not added any water to this container since we originally planted this about a month ago. So we check it periodically to see what's going on, but this is very much low maintenance. It pretty much just runs itself.
Yep, it works.
It works. So you guys, the goal is to get 2 of those 3 begonias we showed you. We're gonna use the funky orange and the funky pink. Funky. And we'll show you how we're gonna space those out. If you saw that video, you might be like, wait, what about those beautiful coleus you bought? Okay, so let's back up. We originally bought 3 coleus. They're just beautiful. We thought, you know, that would look really cool, add a little pop of color. I still do like that.
It's gorgeous. We
actually had 3 though, and the 3rd one did not make it.
Yeah, we think it was a combination of too cold night temperatures, and it wasn't on the heat mat, and then it also had, it was in direct sunlight a couple times, and it wasn't a good combination for it to be out under those conditions, and it's dead.
It did not make it. These are doing a lot better. We have another plan for these now, because we've decided, you know what, while beautiful as that is, we have this other idea now with the begonias. And the main reason is because we thought, yeah, we really want something that trails and adds, you know, kind of that pop of color that just really brightens up this area, and just, these are going to spread out and grow and trail over. So we thought, you know what, that's what we like.
So guys, before we plant these, we need to make sure that they're positioned correctly, because we want them to stay healthy. We want them to have enough room to grow, and that they're not growing too much into these other plants in here. So saying all that, we know we're going to have to train these a little bit to grow more this way, then to grow, and to grow this way, then to grow into the interior of the plant, of the pot, into these other plants in here, because we don't want them to overpower and overgrow the ferns per se. So there will be a little bit of maintenance. As we position these, we want to keep in mind that they are going to spread, definitely. And if we look at the plant tag, because that's what we do, because we're planters and we like to have all the information, the spacing needs to be 12 inches minimum and a maximum of 18 inches between plants. Well, being in a container, it's kind of hard to do, especially when we're packing everything in like we are in this container right here. So going into this knowing that we're going to be kind of crowding plants in, we want to make sure that we have in mind how they're going to grow, where we want them to grow, and then their position. Now, if you see here, we've got our acanthus, we've got our ferns here, and then we're going to place these. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place these in respect to, actually what I'm first going to do is I'm going to place one of them in respect to the ferns over here. And you can see we've got a fern here, we've got a fern here. I want to create a triangle kind of look to this as to the positions of all three of these two ferns in this begonia. So in relation to these two ferns, I'm going to say I want to create a triangle. So I'm going to put the third part of the triangle right here, the third tip right here, and that creates and completes the triangle. Based off of that, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say, based on a triangle between the begonia here that we just said, this fern and then the new begonia, how does that triangle look? Because that's what the people are going to be seeing as they walk by. They're not going to see this fern over here, maybe this fern over here. When they're looking straight on, it's going to be begonia, fern, and acanthus. As they get closer, they'll see these other two, and that'll be great. But from afar away, that first bang for the buck and wow factor, this is what we want to think about. So I've actually got a good triangle here on this. We've got a good triangle here on this. And this one over here, if we wanted to think about it, this fern over here, and then this center fern, and then this begonia, we've got a good triple, a third triangle here too. So as far as positioning goes, I feel really good about this. So with that, we can get to planting these. We're just going to use our Corona hand trowel right here. We'll put a link down below if you want to check that out. So I'm just going to basically pick this up and start making a hole. And I can already tell the soil's really still moist. The self-water container's working really well. So that's always a bonus to make sure that the plants are getting enough water. So to take this out of the pot, I'm just going to squeeze this. I'm gonna make sure that I'm cradling the plant right there. Get this out. We've got fairly good root structure here, but nothing circling, so that'll make it easy to transplant. Just going to make sure my hole's open here, and I'm going to just break these up a little bit. Make sure we get some of those roots kind of flaring out and not in the shape of that pot. And we're just going to place this down in here. And when you're placing these two, you can position them to have all the flowers and its growth showing in a specific orientation. So take this time right now to really position it the way you want it, or in this case, the way Allison would like to see it. And what do you think, honey?
I like it. I was going to tell you to kind of rotate it to the left there, and you already did it. You read my mind, because I want to see those beautiful pink blooms coming out.
Yeah, so again, got some nice root growth here, but nothing circling, so that's always a good thing to see.
Doesn't that look tropical, you guys? Those colors, and wow, I really like that. Funky orange is
funky pink.
It's a thumbs up, definitely.
So something that we do, guys, and you don't have to do it if you don't want to, but we like to keep the plant tags nearby because, well, we plant a lot of plants. We have a lot of plants around us in our garden. We forget what they are. So it's always good to have these in these containers. And so nearby the plant. So what we're going to do is, and Allison doesn't really like to do this, but
it's taken me, I've warmed up to the idea because I like to keep them in, I separate them into front and backyard and kind of have a different system, but I'm kind of liking this because I can grab these on the go and take pictures of them. And
the key, you guys, is to actually get these around the plants, but hide them, push them down into the soil and hide them from view. In this case, this will be easy because we've got this rim of this pot and it tapers down so you can't really see down past here. I'm going to take this, I'm going to put this over here, and this is our funky orange. I'm just going to take this and keep pushing it down until you really can't see it. And now it's just down there.
Yeah, I like that because, yeah, you can't.
Yeah, and now if we ever want to know, or anybody that comes by to visit wants to know what we planted, we can just say, oh yeah, the plant tag's just right there. And they can just kind of look for it real quick, and they can pull it out and find out what it is.
Cute, cool. I love it. So there it is, you guys. Look at that. That just really sets it off. So we are loving that. And as you can see, it's on the side of our house here, kind of by our back door. And we've got our Garai planter over here, our little potting table that we don't use as a potting table. And yeah, there it is. Oh, there's a future project too. Got to cut these in half. Okay, you guys, so the next step is to get this beautiful tuberous begonia. Again, this is Illumination Salmon Pink. We're gonna plant it in this gray kind of shallower container that we had available. We're kind of running out of containers again. So we're gonna put it right in the middle, and it's just gonna trail over. It's gonna be gorgeous. So this gets about 4 to 8 inches in height, and it's meant to spread. And the spacing if this was to go with another plant, the spacing recommends 24 inches. Wow. So to me, that says that it's gonna spread quite a bit.
It really is.
And I mean, I would love to see it kind of take over this whole pot and just trail over. So I'm kind of excited and predicting that that's probably what's going to happen.
I think it's a foregone conclusion.
I know, that's going to be fun. So we're going to get this planted. And again, this is the tuberous begonia. So this is the plant that we would be able to save here in our zone. We live in zone 8B, if we haven't mentioned that yet. This plant is, again, only hardy to zone 9A through 11. So technically not hardy in our zone, but we can overwinter it by pulling the tubers up at the end of the season and overwintering them. Pretty sure that's what's going to happen. And you know what? Maybe we'll make a video about that and show how we're going to do that process. Okay, so I've got a hole ready. Just got some basic potting soil here. I'm going to loosen this up. Kind of hoping we could see some of the tubers, but it doesn't look like it. And we don't want to disturb that too much. Maybe we'll break it up just a little bit. Okay. So it really doesn't matter what angle we put it on, since this is a circular container, we can just kind of move it around. So I'm just going to kind of plop it right in. Get the soil up and around it. What do you think?
Looks good.
Easy?
Really good. Yeah, I know it's an easy one.
This is an easy one. There's nothing else that's going to go with it. I'm going to make sure and put this inside, even though, as you heard, I didn't really like that idea, but looks like we can still hide it. So can't even see it, right?
Ooh, nice.
Okay, so now I'm going to water it. We've got this awesome Crescent Garden watering can, and this has been really handy. It has this like nice kind of rainwater feature, as you can see. It's just real light. Give it a real good soak here, get it started. Get those roots growing. Okay, you guys, so here is where it's gonna live, I guess. You can see we've got it up on a plant stand. Now, you guys, this is an upcoming project. I need to repaint all of these, so that'll be fun. And that'll just really pop in this really shaded part of our yard. It will get maybe a couple hours of sun per day. That's perfect for this plant.
So guys, we hope that was super helpful. We're so excited about having these begonias in our containers in our backyard this year.
I love it. I can't wait to see the color just pop in those shaded areas. And they look tropical.
Oh.
So it's a win-win.
Yeah. And guys, make sure not to water your begonias directly overhead. Don't water the leaves, because begonias are really susceptible to powdery mildew. And make sure not to have them too tightly planted around other plants, because without good air circulation and with any amount of moisture, they'll actually develop powdery mildew that way too. So water the soil and make sure not to have it too wet around each of the plants. Don't water directly over them, and make sure there's air circulation and they're not too packed in there around other plants.
Which is something we'll be keeping an eye on with that tropical container, and that's why Sean mentioned we'll be kind of pruning it so it's not growing back into the other plants. The begonias will trail forward.
And maybe I feel a new video idea coming on for pruning back and maybe maintaining our potted plants.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. We also have another video coming about begonias. We have 10 bulbs to plant. So we're going to be showing you how to plant maybe we'll call it a begonia border.
Begonia border.
A shady begonia border.
Cool. That'd be fun.
Beautiful plants. So that'll be coming up probably later this month.
Yeah. So guys, as always, leave your comments and questions down below for us. We love hearing from you, and make sure to subscribe so you get our latest videos.
And thank you for being here and for watching. We really hope that was helpful, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.